So in this material world, we every day hear the same. Every day, so many were dying, so many were enjoying, so many accidents had been there. It is every day same. So they keep the humans all under their control in this way. It's very easy to guide people just by talking about the same topics all the time. Now, especially in the past, in the few years, but always was like this. So what the devotees do, they also speak always the same. They always, every day, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We are chanting hours. Those who are, they always remember the same. They always think about the same. And what is this same? It is the Supreme, that is the source of everything. It is the goal of all living beings, because there they will find peace in the mind. So, and bees generally, they will stop fighting each other for material gain. So we are also repeating the mantras every day. We do the same process. Sadhana, it is called. That's because we are also try to remember what is worth to remember, because it will not pain us, it will not create anxieties, it will not create enviousness, it will not create birth, old age, disease, and death. Because this is the plane of this mundane plane, and mundane preaching or talking is all, everything is binding us, keeps us in ignorance, including the so-called rulers of this material world. So that's because Vaishnava or Mahaprabhu, Lord himself, appeared in this world to also make his influence, to give his mercy for those who are sincere, who are not believing in this, what is told in material world. The only goal is to make sense gratification, to make money, to make enjoyment, running all for these things. But real enjoyment you cannot get here. You can only get by the process what is given by Lord Chaitanya, who is Radha in Krishna in one person, incarnated in this planet 500 years ago. And the gift what he gives to us is that we should always remember, always chant the name of the Lord. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalonasti, 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 bhakti anyato. And they say there's no other way, no other way, no other way in this age of Kali. As to chant the name of the Lord, Hari. This will free us from all these conditioned positions we are in now, and from the illusion that we think one day I will enjoy, my desires will be fulfilled. So that's because of this I thought we have heard it, but we can also repeat it, because this repetition will give us real benefit. We should remember this, and we should slowly, step by step, we will realize what power is there when we speak the conclusion of the Vedas and the process in this age of ignorance. So he speaks about some deeper meaning of the names, holy name. If it is to be effective, this is spoken by Srila Goswami Maharaj, one of our great acharyas in the line. If it is to be effective, the sound of the holy name of Krishna must have a divine quality. I don't know if we understand this sentence. What is a divine quality and what is not divine quality? Everybody can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Nam Ram, Hare Hare. But that there is a divine quality in there, this is difference. And this we can only, when we come in a purified state, where we can appreciate the holy name of Krishna, which is infinite, can do away with everything undesirable within us. This is the power of this mantra. Whatever is makes us problems, and basically we always have problems, we just accepted these problems as normal. But the holy name of Krishna, Hari, Ram, Madhusudan, can do away with everything undesirable within us. But the name must be invested with a real spiritual conception. It must not be a mere physical imitation produced only by the help of lip and tongue. That sound is not the holy name. If it is to be genuine, the holy name of Krishna, Hari, Vishnu or Narayan, must be Vaikundanam, means the name, what the rules of this name are in Vaikuntha. So it must be connected. Then we can call it Vaikuntha name. Nam means it is connected with the source of everything. That is the plane where we are not born, not dying, where we are eternally existing there. It should have spiritual existence, divine baking. That principle is all in all in vibrating the holy name. So we are concerned with sound vibration that has spiritual depth. I mean, it is deeper. It has an effect. Or with other words, the name, it is said, and the Lord are not different. So when we chant the name proper, the Lord presence will be also felt. We will get direct connection according to our realization, our advancement we are making. The physical imitation of the holy name is not name proper. It is not Shabda Brahma, divine sound. Only imitation sound may come from the plane of mundane conception. So this is difference. So many chanting musicians we find in India, everywhere. Bollywood, they are chanting also Krishna. Krishna and Sitaram. But their basis is money, money, lady, lady, man, man. Enjoyment, enjoyment. So it can never transport, or it can never connect us with the name must come from the deep in the heart, from the Vaikuntha, from the consciousness of eternity. Only imitation sound may come from the plane of mundane conception. The holy name of Krishna means divine sound. It must have some spiritual background. Something spiritual must be distributed through the physical sound. In the case of a capsule of medicine, the capsule is not the medicine. The medicine is within, like this. Is a nice example. Externally, one capsule may look like another. But within one capsule, there may be medicine. Within another, there may be cyanide. So the capsule itself is not the medicine. So it is not the sound of Krishna's name. That is Krishna. Krishna is within the sound. The holy name must be surcharged with proper spirit, not any mundane sentiment. Even the followers of the impersonal Shankara should have faith that the name is not confined within the jurisdiction of the physical sound. They consider it to be within the mental plane, within the plane of Shataguna. Unfortunately, they think that the holy name is the product of Maya, or misconception. And so they conclude that the names of Hari, Krishna, Kali, and Shiva are all one and the same. The Ramakrishna mission and the Shankara school both preach in that way. But that conception also has its origin in the plane of misunderstanding. Any question on it? We are only 4 days. We want to hear the news, what the mind wants us, what the mind has to tell us. And the result will be madness. Yeah. Yes. Or if one is very inexperienced, he will dream how his future will be golden. But this is all illusion, belongs to the temporary world. So the divine sound of the pure name, Shuddhanam, must have its origin beyond the area of misconception or Maya. The extent of Maya is up to the highest planet in the material world. Satyaloka. Beyond Satyaloka is the Virajariva and the world of consciousness. Brahmaloka, and then the spiritual sky, Paravyoma. So the pure name of Krishna must have its origin in Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. And if we are not examining it further, the holy name of Krishna really comes from the most original plan of all existence. Praja Goloka. According to this understanding, the sound must have its origin in the highest plane of the spiritual world. In Vrindavan, if it is to be considered the genuine Krishna Nam. The mere physical sound is not the holy name of Krishna. A true conception of the holy name is necessary, not only to free us from this world of misconception, but also for the attainment of service to Krishna in Vrindavan. Only that true name of Krishna, which has its origin in the plane of Vrindavan, can lift us up and take us there. So not a pure devotee, not only when he chants the holy name, that he experiences the spiritual plane. In reality, his roots are always there in the transcendental plane. And but this may be not, we may not understand this, or we may not recognize such personalities. But it is like this. So we have to consider that our Guru Varga, our spiritual master, and our great saints and acharyas, that they are not only when they chant Hare Krishna, then they are connected with Vaikunta. They are everything is connected with the transcendental world. So we have to be very cautious. We have to approach the transcendental plane. We have to know how, through chanting the name. Otherwise, whatever we do is based on the mental plane, on the external plane, on the plane where we are still not have experienced the transcendental plane. So the plane of Vrindavan can lift us up and take us there. Otherwise, although the spirit within the name, if the sound we vibrate is based on any other conception, it may even take us to the layer of conception. This is quite scientific. It is not unreasonable. The mere word Krishna is not the holy name. What is important is the meaning of the sound and the depth of meaning. The deep conception of the meaning of the name. That is everything. It is all important in serving our purpose. There's a nice story that illustrates this point. When our spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, was a young boy, both he and his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, went to visit the holy place of Kulinagram, which is located in the Hooghly district near Kolkata. Kulinagram was a village where the great devotee Haridas Thakur, as well as other famous Vaishnavas, used to live. And it was the home of 4 generations of devotees. So they went to visit an ancient holy place. And just out on the outside of Kulinagram, as they were entering the village, they passed by an old temple. Suddenly, a man came out of the temple and humbly asked them, "Please stay the night here. In the morning you may enter the village and take darshan of all the places here." So Bhaktivinoda Thakur and our Guru Maharaj, who at that time was a young boy, stayed the night in the temple house. So in the temple, old temple. Just after nightfall, as they were resting, Bhaktivinoda Thakur experienced something unusual. He found that brickbats were being thrown about from different directions. He thought, how is it happening and why? Who would throw big bricks like this? Then he had some apprehension that there might be ghosts living there, creating disturbance. He began loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. After some time, the disturbance disappeared, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta passed the rest of the night there peacefully. So powerful is this name when it is chanted, like when it's Vaikuntha name. Everything is clear. In the morning, they entered the village and began visiting different holy places. After some time, one of the local gentlemen noticed them and said, "You entered our village early this morning. Where do you come from? And where did you spend the night?" So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained, we stayed in the temple just outside the village there. One of them said, oh, how could you stay there? So many ghosts live there and throw stones and bricks at anyone who passes by that place at night. How could you stay there? Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yes, you're right. But I found such a disturbance there. I began to loudly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And subsequently the problem disappeared. The man of the village then asked, Bhaktivinoda, who are you? And where are you coming from? Then they come to know that he was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They had already heard of him. And some of them had read his books. So they welcomed. Welcomed two of them and showed them all the holy places they had not yet seen. At one point they said to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the gentleman who was formerly priest of that temple was transformed into a ghost after his departure. Since that time we have regularly seen the disturbance caused by that ghost. Why did he become a ghost? As the priest of that temple, he used to regularly chant the holy name of Krishna. We are witness to that fact. We have all heard him. Why was he turned into a ghost? We cannot understand this. Please explain it. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur told them that the priest must have only repeated syllables of the name. The name Akshara. What he was producing was only Mayic sound, or physical, lip-deep sound. It did not have the spiritual essence. So the life of the name was absent when he was chanting. It was Nam Aparad, offensive chanting. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked them, what was his character? They said he was not a good man. He committed many sinful acts that we know. But we can't deny the fact that he used to chant the name of the Lord almost always. How could he become a ghost? Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that the physical sound of the name is not name proper. The priest had been committing offense to the holy name, Nam Aparad, and as a result become a ghost. They asked then, how can he be released from that wretched condition? Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, if he meets a bona fide sadhu who has a genuine connection with Krishna, he hears the real name or the proper explanation of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam from his lips, then he may be released from his ghostly condition. It is mentioned in the scriptures that this is the only way to become free from the entanglement of material nature. After this discussion, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati left Kulinakram. From that day on, all the troubles caused by the ghost at the temple in Kulinakram ceased. The village were astonished. One of them said, that priest who had become a ghost must have been released from his ghostly condition after hearing the holy name chanted by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. When the trouble began, Bhaktivinoda loudly chanted the name, and gradually by hearing the holy name of Krishna from his holy lips, That suppressed soul has been liberated from his condition as a ghost. After that, many people turned to the Bhakti Radha. They would tell him, "We are confident you are a great Vaishnava after hearing the holy name of Krishna from your lips. A ghost has been released." This story was published in the newspapers, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada used to recount this story of his own experience with Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The point is that simply the external sound of the name is not the real name. The most important thing is the spiritual realization, making the name. That is the real name. Otherwise, a tape recorder can pronounce that holy name of Krishna. Even a parrot can pronounce the name, but the physical sound is not the thing itself. In the background there must be spiritual truth, which is conscious. That super knowledge is beyond the knowledge of this mundane brain. These are very important points if we understand this and realize this. And we may make a big step forward in our spiritual understanding. So, supramental Nam. This understanding is confirmed by Rupa Goswami Prabhu in his verse, Atasi Krishna Namadi, Navavet Krayam Vintriyai, Simamukhi Jiva Dostayameva Spratyara. He says that Krishna's name, form, quality, and the eternal associates, everything about him is not mundane, but purely spiritual. It cannot be perceived by our gross senses. Simply by vibrating the sound Krishna, our tongue cannot produce Krishna. Our nose cannot catch the transcendental fragrance of his body. Our eyes cannot have a vision of his beautiful figure, which is supramental. This is not true not only for our physical senses, but for the mind also. Our minds cannot conceive of Krishna. He is transcendental and supramental. His existence transcends all the knowledge in our possession. So we cannot be subject and make Krishna our object. That's a very important thing. We should be conscious of this. Everything changes. And when we are not making us the subject, and the Krishna is the object. In other words, when we see Krishna form on the altar, and we think, I see him. But in reality, he is the subject. And we are the object. He can see us if we have the proper attitude or understanding. And then everything changes. Everything is different. Because when we see him, then our mind is imagining, speculating, when we try to see it. So basically, only very few take this sincere, this serious. So our minds cannot conceive of Krishna. He is transcendental and supramental. His existence transcends all the knowledge in our possession. We cannot be the subject and make Krishna our object. He is the subject. He exists beyond both the Atma and the Paramatma. So Atma and Paramatma even is an expansion of him. We should never forget that we should always be mindful of the plane in which he exists. As finite souls, we are the Dashta Jivas, the marginal potency of the Lord. The tiny soul can think and know only those things which are more gross than himself. But in trying to know that which is more subtle than himself, he is helpless. A connection with that higher spiritual realm is only possible when the higher areas wants to bring the lower up into that plane. To understand him possible only through surrender. Sevamukhi jiva do. So this is the secret surrender, that we are not becoming the subject, that we are taking the position of the object. Without this understanding, we will not understand. What we are speaking of here. Anything to say? Otherwise we close here. Everything clear? It is difficult to understand this, or we may understand, but we may not have faith in it. This is our problem in this material world. Dharam Bhajabad, Ektalila Bhavishtam Vishubhad Varmanam Sadhaka Astota Sadashi Srimad Bhakti Rakshakshiradev Goswami Maharaj Gaudiya Sri Gurudev Ektalila Bhavishtam Vishubhad Varmanam Sadhaka Astota Sadashi Srimad Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj Gaudiya Nitai Gaur Premanandi Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vasindhyayevacha Patitanam Vaishnavi Namo Namah